Hello everyone. Welcome. So today we will discuss about immunity. So when we talk about immunity, immunity are of two types: innate immunity and acquired immunity. So what is innate immunity? Innate immunity is that immunity which is non-specific type of defense and that is present from the time of birth, whereas acquired immunity is the immunity that you acquire during your life process, whether it is by once administering the disease and then creating antibodies, or creating, administering you with vaccines, etc. So coming to innate immunity, there are four types of innate immunity that is there. So physical barrier, we have physiological barriers, cellular barrier, and cytokine barriers. Physical barriers is like a skin, your mucus which is coating the epithelium. So all these are the physical barriers. And physiological barriers like acid in the stomach, saliva in the mouth, the tears from the eyes, they all prevent microbial growth. Then you have cellular barriers. Certain types of leukocytes are there, WBCs. They, they like the polymorphonuclear leukocytes and monocytes, natural killers. They are going to destroy the microbes. Then we have cytokine barriers. These are the virus. They secrete proteins. They are called interferons, which protect the non-infected cells from further viral infections. Then we have acquired immunity. So in acquired immunity, it is characterized by memory. This means when our body encounters the pathogen first time, it produces primary response. And the subsequent encounter with the same pathogen, it will elicit a highly intensified secondary anamnestic response. So this is ascribed to the fact that our body appears to have memory of the first encounter. So the primary and secondary immune response are carried out with the help of two special types of cells. One is the B lymphocytes and one is the T lymphocytes. So the B lymphocytes, they are going to produce an army of proteins in response to the pathogen in the blood to fight with them, and these are called as antibodies. And the T cells, they do not secrete any antibody, but they will help the B cells to produce them. So if I talk about the antibody, you see here, so each antibody, they have two light chains and two longer heavy chains. So this are the one you see here, this is the light chain, and this one which you have is the heavy chain. Okay, so hence an antibody is represented by H2L2. So it is represented by H2L2. Okay, now different types of antibodies are produced: IgA, IgM. So we have Ig. So these antibodies are nothing but immunoglobulins, and that is why immunoglobulins is written by Ig. So if the heavy chain is of alpha, so it's basically depending on how the heavy chain is, what kind of heavy chain that does it have. So IgA, then we have IgM, IgE, and IgG. So they are very common. So all these, they are in response to humoral immune response. This is one of the two types of our acquired immune response, antibody mediated. The second type is cell mediated immunity. The T lymphocytes, they will mediate the CMI, that is cell mediated immunity. Very often, some human organs like heart, eye, liver, they function satisfactorily. Transplantation in is the only remedy to enable the patient to live a normal life. So there we need to search for a proper donor. Okay, so grafts of one source of animal, another primate, or human beings, they cannot be made, since the grafts would be rejected sooner or later. So tissue matching, blood group matching, they are very very essential when we take into consideration the graft or the transplant. The body is able to differentiate between self and the non-self, and the cell mediated immune response is responsible for graft rejection. So that is why whenever there is a graft, what is happening, they induce some drugs so that the cell mediated immune response does not occur. Then we have active and passive immunity. Active immunity is what? When a host is exposed to an antigen, which may be in the form of living or dead microbes or other proteins, antibodies are produced in the host. So this type of immunity is active immunity. Active immunity is slow and takes time to give its full effective response. Injecting the microbes deliberately during immunization or infectious organism, gaining access into the body during natural infection induce active immunity. When ready-made antibodies are directly given to protect the body against foreign antigens, it's called passive immunity. So we have this yellowish fluid which is colostrum, which is secreted by mother during the initial days of lactation. They are abundant in antibodies IgA to protect the infant. The fetus also receives the antibody from their mother through the placenta during pregnancy. Next, coming to vaccination and immunization. Vaccination. So if we talk about vaccination, the principle of immunization and vaccination is based on the property of memory of the immune response. In vaccination, a preparation of antigenic proteins of pathogens or inactivated or weakened pathogens are introduced into the body. The antibodies produced in the body against these pathogens would neutralize and the pathogenic agents during actual infections. The vaccines also generate memory B and the T cells that recognize the pathogen quickly on subsequent exposure and overwhelm the invaders with a massive production of antibodies. If a person is infected with some deadly microbes to which quick immune response is required, as in tetanus, we need directly to inject the performed antibodies or antitoxins. Even in case of snake bites, the injection is given to the patient contained preformed antibodies against the snake venom. So these immunizations are passive immunization. Recombinant DNA technology. So that has allowed the production of antigenic polypeptides of pathogen in bacteria and yeast. Vaccines produced using this approach allow large scale production and hence greater availability of immunization. Example, hepatitis B vaccine that you have. Then we have allergies. So what is an allergy? Allergy is the exaggerated response of immune system to certain antigens present in the environment. That is allergy. So the substance to which such immune response is produced are called allergens. The antibodies which is produced to these are IgE, that is immunoglobulin E type. Some examples of allergens mites in dust, pollen, animal dander, etc. Symptoms of allergic reactions include sneezing, watery eyes, running nose, and difficulty in breathing. Allergy is due to the release of chemicals like histamine and serotonin. from the mast cells. For determining the cause of allergy, the patient is exposed to or injected with small doses of possible allergens, and the reactions are studied. The use of drugs like antihistamine, adrenaline, and steroid quickly reduce the symptoms of allergy. Somehow, modern day lifestyles has resulted in lowering of immunity and more sensitive to allergens. More and more children in metro cities of India suffer from allergies and asthma due to sensitivity to the environment. Then we have autoimmunity. What is autoimmunity? Memory-based acquired immunity evolved in higher vertebrates based on the ability to differentiate foreign organisms and self cells. While we still do not understand the basis of this, two corollaries of this ability have to be understood. One, higher vertebrates can distinguish foreign molecules as well as foreign organisms. Most of the experiments immunology deals with this aspect. Two, sometimes due to genetic and unknown reasons, the body attacks self cells. This results in damage to the body and is called autoimmune diseases. So, rheumatoid arthritis, which affects many people in our society, is an autoimmune disease. Then we have the immune system in the body. So, the immune system in the body, it plays a very important role in the allergic reaction, autoimmune diseases, and organ transplantation. So there are lymphoid organs. So these are the organs where the origin of or maturation and proliferation of lymphocytes occur. The primary lymphoid organ are bone marrow and thymus, where immature lymphocytes differentiate into antigen sensitive lymphocytes, and after maturation the lymphocytes migrate to the secondary lymphoid organs like spleen, lymph node, tonsils, pale patches of small intestine and appendix. Secondary lymphoid organs provide the site of interaction of the lymphocyte with antigen, which then proliferate to become effector cell. So you see there are lymph nodes, thymus is there, and there are lymphatic vessels as you see in the picture. The bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ where all the blood cells including lymphocytes are produced. The thymus is a lobed organ located near the heart and beneath the breastbone. The thymus is quite large at the time of the birth but keeps reducing its size with age, and by the time of puberty is attained, it reduces to a very small size. Both bone marrow and thymus, they provide microenvironments for the development and maturation of the lymphocytes. The spleen is a large bean-shaped organ. It mainly contains lymphocytes and phagocytes. It acts as a filter of the blood by trapping blood-borne microorganisms. Spleen also has a large reservoir of erythrocytes. The lymph nodes are small solid structures located at different points along the lymphatic system. Lymph nodes serve to trap the microorganisms or other antigens which happen to get into the lymph and the tissue fluid. Antigens trapped in the lymph nodes are responsible for the activation of lymphocytes present there and cause the immune response. So there is the lymphoid tissue which is located within the lining of the major tracts like respiratory, digestive and urogenital tracts called mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, that is MALT, and it consists of 50% of the lymphoid tissue in the human body.